Hi, my name's Karen Kolbe, and I'm coming to you to read as Mother Goose. I have my friend Feathers with me. Feathers likes to listen to stories, and I hope you do too. I like to read Mother Goose poems, golden books, fairy tales, fables, and just fun children's books. Today I'm going to read a story out of Disney's Junior Storybook Collection, and the story is called Finding Clover. Sophia had been busy lately, so busy she hadn't much time to spend with Clover. So Clover decides to plan a whole day of fun for the two of them. It's going to be Clover and Sophia Day, he tells Robin and Mia. The next day, a traveling magic show comes to the castle. A magician named Boswell makes a dove appear in his hand. "Wazoo, wazoo," Boswell calls. After that, he pulls a rabbit named Mr. Cuddles out of his hat. Then he put Mr. Cuddles in a box and makes him disappear. "I need a volunteer," Boswell announces. James, from the audience, comes up on stage and steps into the big box with another "Wazoo, wazoo." Boswell opens the box, revealing Mr. Cuddles in James's arm. Clover's impressed with Mr. Cuddles. Must be nice to be a star. Well, here is a little picture of James in the magician's box, and he's holding Mr. Cuddles, and Mr. Cuddles is a little rabbit. Let's see what happens. After the show, Clover tells Sophia about Clover and Sophia Day. Suddenly, Minimus crash lands near them. Minimus is a flying horse. "What are you doing here?" Sophia asks him. "We have flying derby practice, remember?" Minimus says, "Oh, I forgot all about that. I'm sorry, Clover," she said. "I can't let the team down. I have to go." Clover can't believe it. What about Clover and Sophia Day? Here's Clover looking very sad. Clover is Sophia's rabbit. Let's see what happens. Just then, Mr. Cuddles hops over out of Boswell's wagon and tells Clover he's quitting the magic show. "But you're the star," said Clover. "Everyone loves you." "You want the jobs?" Mr. Cuddles says, hopping away. "It's all yours." Boswell comes out searching for Mr. Cuddles. "Sophia doesn't need me around anymore," Clover tells Robin and Mia. "So it's time to join up with someone who does." He lets Boswell grab him and take him, put him in the wagon. And here's Boswell and his wagon. Let's see what happens. The next morning, Sophia finds Clover's bed empty. The bird tells her what happened. "But how could he just leave me?" Sophia wonders. She was stunned. "He said you didn't need him anymore," Robin tells her. Sophia can't believe it. She knows she has to find Clover. Robin and Mia offer to help. As they're leaving the castle, Crackle, the dragon, lands and gallops toward them. "Where's my Clover?" she asks eagerly. When she hears what happens, she decides to go along on the search. "You never know when a dragon will come in handy," she said. Sophia heads to the stable and asks Minimus to help. "I don't know which way the magic show went," she explains, "but I thought maybe we could fly over the roads and try to spot them." "Climb aboard, Princess," Minimus says. Meanwhile, Clover is waiting to go on stage. "Ready for your first show, kid?" the dove asks. "Oh, yeah," Clover says eagerly, ready to be a star. "May I introduce my magic bunny, Mr. Cuddles," Boswell announces when Clover pops out of his hat. Clover doesn't mind what the magician calls him. He loves being the center of attention. And here they are on stage. Here's Boswell, and here's Clover. Clover looks like he's taking a bow. After the show, he's still excited. If only Sophia could have seen the show, he said. Sophia and the others search everywhere for Boswell's wagon. They find one that looks similar, but it belongs to a fortune teller. Madame You Betcha offers to look for Clover in her crystal ball. Crystal ball, don't be funny. Help me find this girl's bunny, she says. Clover's picture appeared. Sophia points to the bell tower behind him. I've seen that tower before, she said. It's in Somerset Village. And here is Madame You Betcha. And here's her crystal ball. And here's a picture of where Clover is. It's almost time for another magic show. But Clover's heart isn't in it anymore. He misses Sophia and he wants to go home. Boswell catches him trying to leave. Where do you think you're going? He exclaims, scooping Clover up. I'm not about to have another bunny run out on me. At the same time, Clover's friends finally find Boswell's wagon. Sophia opens the door and sees Clover in the magician's hat. Before she can rescue him, Boswell comes in. Sophia tries to explain that Clover is her pet rabbit, but Boswell won't let Clover go. I'll go to the castle, Sophia exclaimed. I'll get the guards. Boswell's not worried, though. We leave for Enchantia on a four-kingdom tour right after the show. So say goodbye to Mr. Cuddles. Oh, look, here's Boswell, and here's Sophia, and here's Mr. Cuddles. Mr. Cuddles looks scared. Sophia rushes to tell the other ones what happened. We have to save Clover, she exclaims. Sophia comes up with a plan. She'll volunteer to go inside the magic box during the show. That way, she'll end up holding the magic bunny, Clover. But first she needs a disguise so Boswell won't recognize her. Suddenly, Madame You Betcha appears, holding a cloak. I knew you'd need this, the fortune teller announces. Boswell doesn't realize Sophia is his volunteer. Once she's inside the box, Sophia sees that it has a fake back. What are you doing here? Clover exclaims when he recognizes her. I'm rescuing you, Sophia says. She sneaks herself and Clover out the back of the box. Boswell is startled when he sees that the box is empty. He leaps into it just in time to see Sophia and Clover hopping off toward the wagon. Come back with my magic bunny, he howls. Sophia runs, holding Clover tightly. Boswell races after them. He's catching up, Clover cries. Sophia slides under a wagon, leaving Boswell behind. But it's for only a moment. Boswell has long legs, and as soon as he draws close again, Sophia comes to a dead end. Yikes! Got any more moves, Princess? Clover asked. Maybe one, Sophia whistles, and Minimus lands in front of them. Sophia and Clover jump onto his back, and the flying horse takes off. But Boswell lunges forward and grabs Clover. Boswell runs for his wagon. Suddenly, Crackle swoops down toward them. I'm coming for you, Clover, she cries, sending a blast of purple flames at Boswell's feet. The magician yelps and lets Clover go. I told you it would be handy having a dragon around, Crackle exclaims as she grabs Clover and flies off. And here's a picture of Crackle and Boswell and Clover. And a purple flame is being shot at Boswell's feet. Can you see that, boys and girls? He looks startled, doesn't he? Clover can hardly believe that all his friends came to rescue him. Thanks, all of you, he says. Clover, Sophia says, next time if you have a problem, promise me you'll come and talk to me about it. before you go off and join a magic show. Clover smiles. You got it. Sophia smiles back and hugs him tightly as they soar across the sky toward home. And here they are. Clover and Sophia are on the back of Minimus, the flying horse, and here's Crackle, the flying dinosaur, who followed along with them. Did you like that story, boys and girls? I think the lesson is that one, in this one, is talk to somebody. If you have a problem, then talk to somebody before you go off and do something silly like Clover did. Clover left and joined a circus because he didn't think that Sophia wanted him anymore. But he should have talked to her, shouldn't he? I like that story, don't you, boys and girls?